ABC7 Bangor.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
The Island Nursing Home in WVII provided an update on plans to reopen the facility as well as their ongoing fundraising efforts. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. A Bangor church has filed suit against Maine officials over a law they claim violates the U.S. Constitution. And lawmakers heard arguments on whether ranked choice voting should be repealed. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Thursday afternoon. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Lou G and Fredericks across from Eastern Maine Medical Center, serving the greater Bangor area for over 65 years. So all right, as we get things rolling out through this afternoon, we have some advisories posted. We have gale warnings until 5 a.m. Friday, small craft advisories posted until 8 a.m. on Friday as well. As we pull this map further off towards the south, some of these will expire just a little bit sooner, but long story short, today will be the issue with some active surf expected courtesy of some wind that will be picking up. We've had snow moving through, and here's the last little bit of it right here, tracking from the south and west, going toward the north and east. So as things start to taper off, we'll get a little bit of sunshine coming out, but of course, it will be windy, so we'll need to be watching for that as well. It will make it feel cooler out there, and of course, they'll be stirring up the ocean from time to time as well. So futurecast moving forward for today, a lot of sunshine, some clouds mixed from time to time, but becoming mostly clear later on today with maybe a few clouds from time to time, but sunshine on the way as we head towards your Friday. The winds, look at this. Winds up to 20 miles per hour at times will be expected in a few spots, but notice it's a gradual back off. We have to wait till about Friday afternoon before the winds finally start to taper off. So your forecast for today, mid-30s, some morning snow that's tapering off now. We'll see decreasing clouds for the afternoon, northwest wind at about 35 miles per hour. And our early forecast for the rest of the afternoon period will become partly cloudy, temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. The Island Nursing Home's Board of Directors held a public meeting at WVII-Stonington High School last night. It looks like they're a long way from reopening. They provided an update on plans to reopen the facility as well as their ongoing fundraising efforts. The board had set a goal to reopen by July of 2023, but since then they voted not to reopen until $1.5 million was raised to offset 3 years of anticipated losses. Last night, the board asked those who are able to make, quote, significant contributions to help meet that goal.
We really need people's support in order to raise the money to reopen whatnot. We had a lot of people's support, but we need some of the bigger donors on the island to step forward and make some significant contributions so we can move this forward. We need to raise another $1 million.
So if people make a, say, substantial donation and you finally decide, well, it's going to be a no-go, and I hope that's not the case, will that money be reimbursed back to the donors?
Yes.
Board members say they're also working with the legislature to help close the funding gap. They say they've testified to the Health and Human Services Committee about their need for funding and are optimistic given the state's budget surplus. In the meantime, they say it would be irresponsible to reopen and not have sufficient resources, risking another closure. Maine State Police and the Jay Police Department are investigating an incident that took place on Tuesday. They say shortly before 8 p.m., the Jay Police Department received a report of a robbery at the Label Shopper store in the Jay Plaza. An officer located the vehicle as it was leaving the plaza and attempted a traffic stop, but the suspect vehicle continued driving north on Main Street. Police say the officer pursued the vehicle into North Jay, where it crashed in the area of Route 17 and Route 4 intersection. The driver of the vehicle was identified as 33-year-old Vanessa Gordon of Livermore Falls, who police say had a revoked license. She sustained life-threatening injuries. The passenger, 38-year-old Joshua Allen of Farmington, suffered serious injuries. Both were transported by life flight to area hospitals. Maine State Police is handling the crash investigation, while Jay Police are handling the robbery incident. A Maine man who was found guilty of sexually assaulting a 4-year-old had his sentence cut nearly in half. Eric Bard, formerly from Sydney, was sentenced to 50 years in prison in 2015 for the sexual assault of a 4-year-old. The incidents happened back in 2011 and 2012. He had recorded the acts on his cell phone. The conviction was appealed and overturned after a court ruled that Bard had been deprived of his full due process rights. Bard and prosecutors agreed to a plea deal and negotiated a sentence of 28 years. That's 22 years less than his initial sentence. This instead of facing a new trial. One of the prosecutors told the Kennebec Journal that the plea deal was intended to keep the victim from having to testify. Bard must register as a sex offender and submit to supervision for the rest of his life. Bard is also disallowed from having any devices capable of accessing the internet, having any contact with minors, or with the victim. A Bangor church has filed suit against Maine officials over a law they claim violates the U.S. Constitution. Matthew Duronsic has the story.
Crosspoint Baptist Church is suing Pender Macon, Maine's Commissioner of the Department of Education, Jefferson Ashby, Edward David, Julie Ann O'Brien, Mark Walker, and Thomas Douglas in their official capacities as commissioners of the Maine Human Rights Commission for excluding private religious schools from participating in its tuition reimbursement program after the U.S. Supreme Court lifted a ban on public funding for religious schools last June.
The state passed a new law that puts restrictions in the program that effectively prohibit religious schools like Bangor Christian from teaching from their religious perspective.
In October of 2021, Maine's 129th legislature passed an act to improve consistency in terminology and within the Maine Human Rights Act, which exempts religious schools from observing the Maine Human Rights Act if it violates religious beliefs regarding religion, sexual orientation, and gender identity. In a statement from the Maine Human Rights Commission attorney Barbara Archer Hirsch, she says the organization is, quote, fulfilling its purpose of ensuring the basic human right to life with dignity by preventing discrimination based on the basis of protected class status, end quote. Crosspoint Baptist Church attorney Leah Patterson says she wants the state to allow private religious schools to receive funding just like public schools.
At the end of the day, it is crucial that religious organizations be able to be treated fairly and participate equally in programs that are generally available like this.
We reached out to the Maine Department of Education for a comment, but did not hear back. In Bangor, Matthew Duronsic reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
The legislature's Committee on Veterans and Legal Affairs heard arguments Wednesday on whether ranked choice voting should be repealed. At stake is whether voters in Maine should have a second choice when voting at the polls. In the end, LD 1038 was voted down in a 7-1 vote. The Secretary of State's office has always supported ranked choice voting because they say it gives Mainers the ability to vote with their hearts rather than their fears.
We know that it gives voters maximum choice in who they vote for. It certainly brings that element of the ranked choice voting tabulation, which Maine voters saw live streamed last fall. That is additional work for the Office of Secretary of State, but we love that work. We think it's really important that the will of the voters is always reflected in our elections.
Secretary Bellows says she was happy to see that the committee vote reflected what Maine people want, saying that people ranked choice vote on things every day to make our choices. The Office of Maine Attorney General is suing several manufacturers for knowingly making products containing dangerous PFAS chemicals. Attorney General Aaron Fry announced Wednesday that his office has filed 2 lawsuits against DuPont, 3M, and others. Those lawsuits allege that the manufacturers knew about the science behind PFAS, or forever chemicals, but concealed the information in pursuit of profit. According to the office, the lawsuits will seek to recover all costs to investigate, clean up, restore, treat, monitor, and otherwise respond to the contamination of Maine's natural resources. The 2 actions were filed with the Superior Court in Cumberland County. According to the AG's office, Governor Janet Mills has voiced her support for those lawsuits. An Old Town factory is once again closing up shop. Our David Ledford spoke with members of the city about the shutdown.
It's a hard pill to swallow.
Old Town's pulp mill is set to close for an extended period starting next month. This closure follows the 2019 reopening of the mill by the current owner, Nine Dragons Paper Limited, based in China. Old Town City Manager Bill Mayo confirmed the town was told about the closure by the company, but declined to comment further. Some town residents expressed not only concern, but frustration.
There's been so much hope, for the mill to succeed. A lot of these people have been here for a long time, yo-yoed back and forth when mill closes and it opens and whatnot. We were really hoping this time that it would be a success.
An ND Paper spokesperson says the mill is taking extended downtime, citing current market conditions and the rising cost of fiber and energy as the cause. A resident of the nearby Penobscot Indian Island Reservation says that she's concerned about what the closure could lead to in the future.
I remember back in high school, a lot of friends' parents worked there. I had a friend that was in my class that they had to move away. They moved out of town because of the closure. And I feel like that is going to put a lot of other families at risk.
Employees of local businesses say they fear that the shutdown may impact the town's revenue.
There's new local businesses around for like lunches and dinners and things like that, so there's more people like in and out of our town. I think possibly it is a possibility for it to affect some of our businesses that are starting to finally grow. We were just starting to build up a little bit better around here, so I hope not.
An ND Paper spokesperson says the company will continue to evaluate market conditions for a potential restart of the mill. In Old Town, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, the city of Ellsworth is buying an ambulance to cut down on wait times. We've got the details when we return.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
I really enjoy helping people and watching them grow. I joined Sweetser over 10 years ago as an independent affiliate and have helped countless clients reach their goals. Sweetser provides me an opportunity to help my clients without all the headaches like billing and referrals, things related to actually running a private practice. They take the administrative stress away so I can carry out my true passion. If you are a licensed social worker or therapist, Sweetser's affiliate network is for you.
This isn't your parents' photo booth. Premier Limousine and DJ present the latest in photo booth technology, the Magic Mirror Air Booth. We offer unlimited prints of beautiful 4x6 full-color photos and unlimited photos sent directly to your phone. The new Magic Mirror Air Booth is available for proms, weddings, birthdays, class reunions, and corporate events with one of the largest selection of props available. You can book the Magic Mirror Air Booth and DJ services separately or take advantage of our very popular package deal. Contact us at Premier Limousine and DJ.
Oh, that feels so good. What a sweetheart. I'm so lucky.
These socks are so soft. And her feet don't smell? These would be perfect for hunting season.
Moisture wicking, odor resistant, hypoallergenic, softer than cashmere, and warmer than wool. Get your alpaca socks and more at the Blue Alpaca. Feel the difference.
Hey babe, can I borrow these socks?
The Great Home Show Expo will be hosting its premier home show at the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor, March 31st through April 2nd. It's a great opportunity to meet local contractors, landscapers, and specialists to get your home improvement project started. Come check out Ace Roofing at the Great Home Expo. You can meet the crew, see our work, or ask us questions. Get the best or complain with the rest. PDQ Door is happy once again to be back at the Great Home Expo, owned locally and servicing Maine homeowners for 29 years.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The University of Maine just got a big boost from the National Institutes of Health. The NIH honored the school with the Center of Biomedical Research Excellence, or COBRE, award. It's worth $11.3 billion and will support biomedical research. Specifically, the COBRE award will focus on research about the mechanisms that regulate cellular behavior in response to cues from outside the cells, from the impact of persistent viral infections to muscular cell development. The research has the potential to inform future treatment of infectious diseases, neuromuscular disorders, and muscle aging and regeneration. This is the first COBRE award given to the University of Maine. Clarissa Henry, a professor and director of the Graduate School of Biomedical Science and Engineering at UMaine, said, quote, "This award will transform the landscape of biomedical research at the University of Maine and foster innovation and life sciences statewide," end quote. A bill has been presented that would close a loophole and that has prevented the state of Maine from providing health care to many of the state workers hired before 1986. On Tuesday, Senator Craig Hickman of Winthrop presented LD 591 to the Joint Standing Committee on Labor and Housing. Hickman said many of those who worked for the state prior to 1986 have been paying for health care for far too long, and it's now time to make good on the state's promise.
It's overdue. I think that, the constituents that brought this to my attention have been trying to get this resolved for the last 2 decades in one form or another.
According to Hickman, the biggest obstacle that stands in the way of the bill is collecting all the data necessary to make sure that all Maine state workers who were hired before the cutoff are serviced. If you think you may be affected, call Hickman's office at 207-287-1515 or email craig.hickman@legislature.maine.gov. A bill is being introduced to the legislature that would help improve behavioral health support in Maine's public schools. Representative Lydia Crafts of Newcastle introduced Bill D 829. The bill would establish a pilot program to give school staff research-based training and mentorship to better support youth that are engaging in challenging and disruptive behaviors in schools. It would also improve the student-to-school counselor ratio in K-8 public schools. Crafts, who's also a licensed social worker, says, quote, "There's no more direct way to connect children with mental health and behavioral health support than offering access in public school settings. Reducing barriers to support is critical amidst the current mental health crisis." The city of Ellsworth is taking steps to reduce wait times for emergency medical transport by purchasing its own ambulance. They currently contract with Northern Light Medical Transport for their 911 emergency services and also sometimes rely on mutual aid. They found that their firefighters were being asked to remain on scene while they waited extended periods of time for those transport services to arrive. They decided to buy an ambulance for the city in order to be able to immediately transport those in need of emergency services.
911 EMS calls within the city, our ambulance would respond. And if Northern Light is able to respond, then the primary focus would be for them to do the transport. In the event that they're unable to respond and they're forced to call out for mutual aid to other ambulance services around our county, the preference at that point would be, rather than wait for one of those ambulances to respond, for us to just do the transport ourselves.
City Manager Glenn Mosier says due to wait times for new ambulances, the decision was made to purchase a used ambulance instead that costs roughly $205,000. They anticipate another $70,000 in cost to properly outfit the vehicle. It will be at least a couple of months before the vehicle will go into service. Northern Light will continue to provide ambulance services to Ellsworth as well. After the break, we'll take a look at a special ceremony to honor Maine's Vietnam veterans. We'll be right back.
I've been in a few accidents and had surgery on my right foot first and contracted a blood disorder. I had quite a few seizures after that and then had a massive stroke. That was a really rough time in my life. Donna has helped me through so much. She knew exactly what I was going through, and she made sure that I had nurses in my home. She helps me with all of my medications. She coordinates all my rides to any facility I need to go to. She talks to my doctors personally. Thanks to Donna, I'm sitting in my own home and I'm getting the care I need and I'm getting all the therapy I need. It's made my life tremendously easier.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Donna?
I am okay. How's your morning been? You're not overdoing, are you?
No, I'm not overdoing it.
Okay, remember you are in recovery. You come first.
She gives me hope. She gives me faith. She puts a smile on my face every time I talk to her. I call her my second sister, and I've never even met her. Hello.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Oh my goodness.
Well, it is good to meet you.
I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done for me.
That's what I'm here for. I love being able to make your life easier when I can and get you the care you need.
And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'll never forget you.
Never forget you either, buddy.
If I didn't have Donna in my life, I don't think that I'd be sitting where I'm sitting right now.
Max True Value Hardware in Unity is the best option year-round for all of your home improvement projects. Backed by one of the leading paint manufacturers in the United States, Max will color match or custom mix any color for you. We care about your pets too, carrying all of the essential pet products in our store. During those cold winters, we take the extra step to help with wood pellets ready to load on site. We also fill all size propane cylinders year-round. Max True Value Hardware. We take pride in serving our community. Let us know how we can help you today.
A ceremony to honor Maine's Vietnam War veterans was held at the State House Wednesday. Devin Dagnall has the story.
America changed a great deal during Vietnam, and those of us who were absent for the change saw the difference.
March 29th, 2023 marks the 50th anniversary of the last U.S. combat troops departing from Vietnam. To mark the day and honor the soldiers it remembers, a ceremony was held at the State House. The ceremony included speeches from Governor Janet Mills, Major General Douglas Farnham, and Vietnam veteran Peter Mills.
It's important to recognize the sacrifices of Vietnam era and Vietnam War veterans. Everyone knows, I think, that they weren't properly recognized when they returned from service, and it was a controversial war.
During his speech, Peter Mills talked about how it felt to return home after the war.
Many of us are old enough to remember what it was like for our fathers to come back from World War II. And I remember all of the parades that we would have. And we all thought, when we all went to Vietnam, we thought, oh, we'll come home and it'll be a big deal. Well, it wasn't quite such a big deal. The war was not popular.
The ceremony concluded with taps and a wreath laying in front of the Vietnam War Veterans Memorial within the State House. In Augusta, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Taking your blood pressure medication is good for more than just keeping your heart healthy. With more, here's ABC's Lindsay Watts.
Every year, nearly 800,000 people in the U.S. have strokes, and doctors prescribe many of them blood pressure medications. Keeping your blood pressure in check can help prevent future strokes, but it has other benefits, too. A new 2023 study found that stroke survivors who take their blood pressure medications as prescribed may be less likely to suffer a serious fall. Researchers followed over 4,000 people who were prescribed hypertension medications after having a stroke. After 1 year, they found that the patients who took their blood pressure medications as instructed not only had fewer heart problems, but also were less likely to have been hospitalized for a fall or to have died in that time. So the next time your doctor prescribes medications, you may want to set a reminder to take them on time. It could just save you a trip to the hospital. With this Medical Minute, I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Maine Health can come with all the benefits you want and zero compromises. Just go to anthemainehealth.com/answers or call 855-753-3928 for a one-on-one Medicare plan review. Ask about our $0 monthly premium plans that include dental, vision, and hearing coverage, along with transportation, a free gym membership, and $0 copay for prescriptions, all for zero extra cost. Plus, you could be eligible for extra benefits to help you save even more. We have plans with up to $2,500 a year to help you pay for over-the-counter health items, groceries, and living expenses like cell phone, electric, or water bills, all on a single prepaid MasterCard you can use at thousands of locations nationwide. Call Anthem Maine Health at 855-753-3928 or visit anthemmainehealth.com/answers and get a Medicare Advantage plan with zero compromises for you and your wallet.
When Dover Audiology wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Come to Dover Audiology and find out where people from Kittery to Eastport go to get their hearing aids. Knowledgeable, friendly, and reasonable. Dover Audiology is your best place for hearing solutions.
You've probably seen those ads on TV with the out-of-state 800 number that look like information from Medicare. Some even suggest that your zip code will get you more benefits or even money back. You guessed it, those ads are misleading. So don't call that out-of-state 800 number when your help is right here at home. Do what I did and call the Senior Planning Center. They have trusted professionals all over Maine.
Call the Senior Planning Center at 223-6565. That's 223-6565.
This is Eargo. They automatically enhance your hearing wherever you are.
Ours comes with buttons on the back, so you can fiddle around to your heart's content.
Like the 80s all over again.
Cool, right?
For a limited time, get $300 off our latest device.
Welcome back. Have you ever thought it might be nice to have a 3-day weekend every weekend? Well, a 4-day work week is gaining support in several states, including California, New York, and Pennsylvania. In a recent study published by research organization Autonomy, 61 businesses participated in a 6-month-long trial implementing the 4-day work week. After the study concluded, 18 of those businesses permanently implemented the 4-day model. The study found employees benefited from a shorter work week, with workers reporting they were less stressed and had reduced levels of burnout. We asked Mainers their thoughts on a shortened work week.
Yes, because it gives more time for recreational activities and time with families and stuff.
Absolutely. That way people can make their appointments and actually attend them. Being diabetic, I have a lot of appointments.
Of course, there's no word on whether such a proposal is being considered anywhere in the state of Maine. Now let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, here we go. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, they are Paramount. Give them a call for a free estimate today. Here we go. So we have some advisories posted. These are gale warnings until 5 a.m. as we head towards your Friday. 8 a.m. for the small craft advisory here for Friday as well. Today will be the issue with wave heights that will be on the increase as the day progresses on. Wave heights, and you can definitely tell here, they are increasing. 3 to 7 foot wave heights being noted according to the buoys, and I do expect these to become a little worse before they start to get better, especially as we head towards the daytime tomorrow. So here's the radar right now. The heaviest of the snow is moving out of here now. Maybe a little bit left over from this morning, but we're pretty much getting all this out of here now. After we saw all this tracking from the west going toward the east over time, some heavy snow in a few spots, especially in the northern areas. But to the south, some heavy snow, but not as bad. But we're pretty much starting to say bye to that now. But as that pushes off towards the east, high pressure not too far away. That'll be moving in our direction. That'll give us some sunshine and maybe a few clouds mixed. But unfortunately, as for the wind, we'll have to wait until tomorrow before the wind finally starts to ease up. Futurecast moving forward for today, a lot of sunshine and a few passing clouds from time to time. By tonight, though, all right, not too bad. Just some clearing skies and a few clouds mixed in as well. But overall, we're looking pretty good as we do move forward. As we start things off for your Friday, some clouds will be moving in again. Ahead of our next system now will give us the opportunity for some snow and a little bit of rain mixed in as well. So otherwise, though, the snow accumulations are done. So now we're looking pretty good. Everyone's pretty much at a goose egg, at least at this point. As a lot of the snow is out of here. The focus will now turn to our next system. Now we'll begin to move in, especially as we head towards early Saturday morning, late Friday night as well. Starting off as snow, maybe a break from time to time to it, but as we do see that break, it will transition to rain and maybe heavy rain at times as well with some of these gusty winds, at least for the day on Saturday. But by Saturday night and Sunday, we start to taper off and sunshine's back, especially as we head towards your Sunday. So there will be improvement on the way. Our average high temperature, let's talk temperatures for a bit. It's 45 degrees. Only mid-30s today, but we improve quickly with 40s Friday and low 50s Saturday. Then we kind of go on a roller coaster ride. We cool off again Sunday, but again, back in the 50s again as we head towards the Tuesday before we cool off a little bit yet again. Forecast for today, the morning snow is tapering off. We'll see mid-30s today, decreasing clouds for the afternoon with that northwest wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour. And by tonight, though, we're looking pretty decent out there. 20 degrees, mostly clear, maybe a few passing clouds with that west wind getting up to about 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mid-40s, mostly cloudy, light breeze out of the west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Paramount Paving extended forecast, so there is a rain moving in by Saturday. It starts Friday night as snow. We transition to rain Saturday, but by Sunday, a lot better. Mostly sunny, highs cooling off into the upper 30s, upper 40s making a return by Monday with a mostly cloudy sky.
Thank you, Devin. Mother Nature just wants to remind us that she's in charge. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening with Peter Dubois and Beth Jones on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.